fellow creatures of the internet, this is the most must-see and subscribed Argonian and online ambassador of Black Marsh, Bruzo Dragonius. Apparently, there's some sort of an internet craze that's going on that's been inspired by a TV show that's on Netflix that is made in and set in Korea and originally in the Korean language, which is called Squid Games. Now, if you're not familiar with Squid Games, the premise of the show is all these people that were in these games, like in this sort of series of video games, are in so much financial debt. And it can be like from all walks of life. And it varies to gambling debts, which the main character of Squid Game has. Various run-ins with the loan shark. The premise of these games, of this series, is there's like a whole group of these people that were in debt were invited to participate in a game show that is based on an undisclosed location. As we all know, spoiler alert, it's in some sort of an island of the coast of South Korea, from what I really know. And they end up going into a series of childhood games. Seeing that the show is based in South Korea, what these games have in common is the childhood games that school kids, in primary school, I should say. I'm not quite sure if there's primary school or elementary school in Korea. I'm not quite sure. But I'm just going to say primary school age kids play. These games do vary from red light, green light, the bridge game, down to the very game this TV show is known for, which is called Squid Games. Now, there is a catch, and it's not only that each and every one of these contestants that is in this game is in so much debt, even though that they're in for the money, of course, to pay off their debt. The twist about it is that there's a bit of a waiver, that's where they have to sign a bit of a contract. And each of those contestants have been required to participate in every one of these games. Not all of them know what games are in order, right? Yes, there are some clues that as to know what games are in order and that, but the contestants themselves don't really know that sort of thing. And in most, if not all of these games, such as red light, green light, for example, once that you get called out, you're eliminated, right? But this is how they eliminate people. They shoot them. Literally shoot them with actual ammunition. And to be quite frankly, that's the penalty for each of those contestants, that they fail or even lose each game. And each of those games are done within a time limit. And if you fail, you're dead. But if you succeed in all 6 of these challenges, you get the money. Simple as that. The reason why I'm talking about this Squid Game is there's this trend that's going on the internet, which is a game, and it's like one of those traditional candy games that's based along Korea that the kids used to like. They usually have this lolly, this honeycomb sweet, and it's got a bit of a shape imprinted onto the top of it. This game is in episode 3 of season 1, called The Man with the Umbrella. With this game, each of these surviving contestants has got 10 minutes, cut the shape out that is imprinted onto each of the sweets. But the thing about it is that they first choose a shape, which is of course a star, a triangle, a circle, and the most difficult shape of it all that anyone can think of, which is of course the umbrella. It's actually a traditional game. That's a traditional sweet, a traditional lolly that they have of a traditional Korean sweet called a Dalgona candy, or what we know as honeycomb. And like I said, these candies have the shape that's imprinted on top of them, which the participants have to carve out using nothing but a sewing needle. I'm pretty much attempting on doing this challenge, but first, I don't have such sweets. So, like I said, it's now up to me, this lizard, have to end up making the candy. And if I fail, and just pretend, just imagine that this is the Squid game itself, that elimination, that gunshot to my head, should I fail, will be an end of poor old reptilian me. So anyway, off to the kitchen, as I'm going to make these sort of sweets for the challenge. Recently, I brought these cookie cutters for this challenge that I wanted to do. That involves like making the honeycomb candy. I don't know how they're going to turn out like, but it's all to do with the Squid game. And I know for sure there's like with 20 minutes. As you can see, there's the gingerbread man, the star shape, the love heart, or the cloud. I couldn't get any more, so yeah, this is what I just got. So I'm just going to make the candy and just like for this challenge that will be coming up on my YouTube channel. So help me decide which should I pick. So I'm just going to do the making the candy right now. So there's the starter I'm just doing. So I just decided on doing that. I'm just using the baking paper and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to get ready. And this is the smallest pen that I can find in order to make the honeycomb. And I've also got myself some baking soda. I'm not really sponsored by Mackenzie's or anything, but the recipe requires some baking soda. So the recipe is basically straightforward. All you need to do is put 5 tablespoons that I did onto the saucepan. Make sure they're as small as possible. Even though that traditionally in South Korea they use something that's called a ladle, and the exact measurement of half a teaspoon of baking soda. Most likely a pinch. I'm not going to add anything else to the sugar, so I'm just going to put it down there. Now you want to have the lowest setting as possible, so just like that. So the time is on, and then what you do is that you just spatula and all that kind of stuff. You keep on stirring until it's melted. So what I'm trying to do is that I got the pan at the lowest setting, and you keep on stirring. So this is what it looks like. Here's the baking soda. Even though it's not at the right colour that I was expecting it to be. I'm using the right sugar. So that's, even though I didn't get the colour right, and then what I do is I just transfer it, and then I need to pour it straight onto the baking paper. Right, I figured out that it's in that colour is because the fact being is that I weren't too patient stirring at the thing, and the secret to it is that I put some water into the sugar, thus boiling it with the sugar. But the secret is that what you do is that you wait until the sugar melts before you stir it. But what I do got it right is that the sugar, like I got the stove, that's in the lower setting and all that kind of stuff. So this is just my failed attempt. So this is why that it's all white and not brown the way that I want it to be. But I was just demonstrating the of what you do after that you put it in, where you just flatten it with the parchment paper, then you put the print in. This is the way that I imprint the shape. Now, in order to make the candy yourself, you want to imprint the shape, or in order to do so, you have to at least make sure that you put the shape halfway through the candy. If you put it in too much, chances are that it'll end up breaking, thus defeating the purpose, and all you get is just one one completed challenge without making some sort of an effort, and I just wanted to avoid that. So these are just some scenes and all that kind of stuff. But in the first scene, it didn't seem to turn out the way that I wanted to. Now this is my first time at doing it. This is my second time now, and I did sort of wait until the sugar ends up melting, but I started stirring it, but I didn't get it off the stove in time as I was stirring it. So therefore it ended up being completely burnt. So that I ended up checking the delay and all that kind of stuff. I really don't care about it being burnt because this is only for a challenge. But as you can see there, I didn't turn the stove off. I didn't get the sugar off the stove like I should. This is the reason why that it was like this, but it doesn't meant to look... I don't really care that it looked that appetizing. I just wanted to do that so I can have a guy cut in the shape. But eventually, I ended up perfecting the recipe later on. So, this is what it meant to turn out like. The star shape, even though it's a bit thicker and all that kind of stuff. Even now that it feels a bit sticky. So that's why that I'm using my my human hand. There's a little, traditionally it's done with the sewing needle, so this little thing that I'm just doing. So, like I said, even though that it's like set up like with the setup, is that I want you to see the full perspective. The camera looking down, which is now recording. So for this, even though they're on Squid Game, they are allowing for 10 minutes. But for this video, I'm giving myself an extra 5 minutes at least. So I know for sure that this isn't the actual Squid Game, but however, if it is, if I fail this, I will end up being eliminated. Therefore, I will be shot, and I'll be shot dead. If it comes down to that point, well, us Argonians do sort of get reincarnated into another body of a lizard. So anyway, I'm just going to fill it in there, like so. Okay. Just looking for the shape. Okay. And I'm starting now. Yes, got it. Now I've got the 1 point there. Okay. I'm trying not to break it. Okay, that one's off. Now just 2 more corners. Notice some of it was a bit bent. Oh crap. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that meant to be the star or what. I think I failed. That meant to be the star. So, what can I do? Like, I literally got some of the corners just down there and that. It didn't make it any easier for me. There's no salvaging it. So yeah, shape a bit, which meant to be a little star thing, but I failed. R.I.P. Bruzo. Anyway, I hope that that really entertained you and all that kind of stuff. Even though that my fingers are sticky with my human fingers and all that kind of stuff. Even though it doesn't even look like a damn star in the first place. I tried my luck. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you press the like button on the description below. If you really like this video and if you do like my content, make sure you consider subscribing to this channel. The usual things, ways to follow me on social media and all that kind of stuff is on the description below, especially with giving me money so I don't have to go to these, compete in one of those Squid Game things if they do exist, which thankfully they don't. Even though they really did failed this sort of thing. I mean, this meant to be the star. And it sort of broke off. Just this thing there. I don't know if I made the candy and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah. If you want to friend me on PSN, my gamer tag is Bruzo21. And, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. It's all amazing. And at least you're watching it to the end. And if you're new to this channel and if you subscribe to this channel, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of yous. And as always, maybe this video would inspire you into making some content like this. And it's a bit of a fail. And as always, this is Bruzo Dragonius signing off by saying, in my very last words, if it's the actual Squid Game, may his go draw, and if I survive this or get resurrected by another lizard or something, get resurrected, bye for now.